Entrepreneur India is with Alina. She's working with the Innovation Center for HP. Is that correct?
For the innovation program, yeah. The global innovation program.
The global innovation program. She's going to tell us two quick questions, Alina. What do you think that Indian startups or Indian companies can do in the innovation space to get on par with the international peers? That's one.
I think a lot of the companies that I've seen and the startups that I've seen in the past 2 days, and did a little bit of help with the coaching yesterday for the pitch competition, are working on a lot of the verticals that are currently interesting in outside global markets. But I also think that there's a lot of interesting work being done regarding innovation that is relevant today, while global markets are looking at innovation that is going to be relevant in 10, 15, 20 years. The Israeli ecosystem is such that most of the innovation that we're working on is very futuristic innovation. We have very strong IoT development. We have a lot of AI startups that are coming about that are going to be the solutions for the solutions that will be developed. So in that sense, the Indian ecosystem is very interesting because they're working on current day scenarios. And I think that the opportunity is really for Indian startups to try and educate the market. Marie was talking about that in today's panel, about how market education is really needed, about the importance of of developing current solutions for current industries and not just for futuristic industry. So in that sense, I think that Indian startups can be that way. And the second thing is to try and tap into futuristic scenario planning, and trying to understand how they can compete in the market, not just today, but also in 5, 10, 20 years, because it's very much relevant for ecosystems that are looking that far away. Specifically, I think that the India-Israel collaboration, which has been going about in the geopolitical sphere, and also we've been seeing with the Peers program for global innovation, a lot of Israeli startups coming to India and looking at India as the first market where they want to grow, mainly in the areas of social impact, social tech impact, which is really amazing to see. We see really amazing innovation coming out of that. We see startups like Soapy, that is a hygiene solution, coming out of Israel and looking at the Indian market as the first market, doing all of the validation here, not even thinking about working in Israel. It's a beautiful collaboration that they're doing with between Peers and T-Hub and a lot of the local partners here. And I really think that for Israelis, that is the market opportunity, to come here and really experience tech social on a large scale, and B, look at India as a market. And the other way around, I think it's for Indian startups to come and try and get a better understanding of the ideation that's going on in the Israeli ecosystem.
So Israeli startups and Israeli companies are more known for very innovative as well as very futuristic ideas, AR, machine learning, VR. Indian startups are also working in that space, right? Do you feel that Indians can ape a lot from Israel, and considering Israel is a small country, the scope for activation as well as implementation is a lot more in India?
So I think that when talking about startups of IoT, of AI and VR, most Israeli startups are completely targeted towards the American market. And if not the American market, the European market. So I think that in that sense, not necessarily is India the first market to go to at the moment, which is not to say that the Israeli startups cannot be educated to come to India and subsidized to come to India and work collaboratively to understand how to think of India as a market for that. And I think that a lot of the Indian startups that are working in that sphere that I have seen, at least in the last few days, are working on interesting technology, but are not yet thinking very much on the ground of what is of interest to the global ecosystem in that, and not necessarily, I met a few startups that I felt haven't necessarily gotten to know their competition well, and are looking at local competition more than global competition. But unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not sure, but we all live in a very global world where you have to look at your global competition. You can't focus on local, even if you live in a country that has so many people.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.